If I may have your attention, with apologies, because I know I'm in the process of interrupting many animated, more stimulating conversations than what I can offer you, and I apologize for that. But while you finish up your appetizers, I'd like to briefly conduct a labor of love, combined with an upgrade in the academic offerings of Charles University, which has been, for those that don't know, continuously operating since 1348, a cool 700 years. You don't hear about that in the United States. We at PSSI have, for the second time, had the special opportunity to partner with Charles University to co-sponsor a 4-year Ph.D. scholarship, this time in the field of, you guessed it, space security. Hence, this gathering. We also have the privilege of naming this Ph.D. scholarship after a largely unsung hero in the ongoing effort to neutralize the terror of ICBMs directed at certain of our populations using space-based assets, the Honorable William P. Clark. Now, for those that don't know Judge Clark, as he came to be known, we have a citation that goes along with this scholarship that reads as follows. Judge William P. Clark, a title he carried with him after serving as a Supreme Court Justice in California, held the positions of Deputy Secretary of State, National Security Advisor, and Secretary of Interior during the presidency of Ronald Reagan. Prior to that time, he served as Chief of Staff to then California Governor Reagan. It was, however, his role as National Security Advisor in the early 1980s where he was responsible for truly historic accomplishments, such as leading the successful, highly secret strategy to hasten the demise of the Soviet Union and institutionalizing space-based missile defense capabilities, which still hold the promise of being the most effective and economic means to neutralize the ICBM threat facing the United States and our allies. And I know perhaps not everyone is on board that assessment, but that's our view. President Reagan's famous speech of March 23, 1983, announcing America's commitment to the Strategic Defense Initiative, was authored by the President himself and Bill Clark. It was also Judge Clark that shepherded the President's draft SDI announcement through a gauntlet of fierce opponents inside and outside the administration, dedicated to ensuring that this bold, revolutionary, and achievable goal for the benefit of humankind would never see the light of day. It is for this and many other reasons that this humble, selfless, brave, dedicated, principled, and visionary American patriot and icon of the U.S. security community is being honored with this Ph.D. scholarship in space security at Charles University, henceforth bearing his name. So I'd like at this time, if I might find him, to turn the floor over to the Vice Rector of Charles University, Jan Kovalinka, for some brief remarks before presenting a plaque to what was to be, well, now is certainly in Bill Clark's memory, but it was to be to his son, Colin Clark, who traveled to Prague for this occasion, but in the course of today fell ill to the point where he couldn't be with us. And so, of course, we'll be accepting this on his behalf. So with that, Dr. Kovalenka, please.
Thank you very much. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, dear colleagues, for me it's actually honor and great privilege to be able to introduce this very special event in name of His Magnificence Professor Tomáš Zima, the rector of the university, who unfortunately cannot join us tonight. I'm just the vice rector, but I hope you will do with me. I hope you like the environment you sit in. This city is beautiful. And one of the reasons why is it so beautiful is that we have not been careful enough in security. Czechs are such a bad soldiers that we lost every war so quickly that the enemy didn't have chance actually to destroy the city. So that's why we have so many beautiful artifacts that survived still. And due to the history and the responsibility of Charles University, we have to work on it and improve the security. And that's why we have very successful security studies program at the Faculty of Social Sciences of our university, including the international, also the international relationship program that is represented by Dr. Plechanovova here in the audience, Dr. Střítecký, and a number of other distinguished colleagues. I would, if I may have a personal remark, I haven't heard William P. Clark name before, but I certainly did hear name of Ronald Reagan before, and I certainly did hear name of Strategic Defense Initiative. And it was in the high school when our teachers assembled us at a certain stage and told us that we are supposed to sign a protest against the Star Wars, that those dangerous American imperialists are preparing to kill us all. And the teacher actually prepared a postcard that have been addressed to the White House, Pennsylvania. And I don't know where they get the address, by the way. And that was a text that we, the students of the high school in Litvinov, protest the Star Wars initiative of Ronald Reagan. And they sent it around the class. And the poor girl in the first row did sign it, but then it went all the way around the class and no one else signed it. And then it came to this poor girl and they crossed her signature, And the teacher was kind of angry. He was a Communist Party member, and he started, to shout at us. And finally, a friend of mine just stood up and told the class and to the teacher that he could not possibly sign it because English was so poor. And what would the imperialist think about us? You see that the English didn't improve much since, but at least I don't sign it, So you can't find anywhere my signature under the Protest Against Strategic Defense Initiative. Now, seriously, we, particularly in this part of Europe, we are very much aware of the strategic importance of this region, of what we are doing, and certainly of a strategic importance of relationship of this country with the United States and our allies in NATO. Please be assured that this is something we find very, very important and a critical anchor of not just our security, but our way of life and our democracy and our liberties. That's why I'm so especially proud that PSSI decided to grant William P. Clark Scholarship to Charles University student. And I hope this is just a beginning of a beautiful friendship that will continue to flourish. And I wish both PSSI, this scholarship, and our collaboration all the best. Thank you very much.
Please. Little did I know that we were bringing on board a comedic genius. And we don't have to write a check. I mean, are you available for other dinners? My goodness. So that's the texture I was looking for. The Iron Curtain days were brought forward, and here we are as free men and women. Leave it to say that I will very proudly accept this on behalf of the Clark family. I know Colin would very much like to be with us, as would other family members. You can take a look at the plaque on your rounds out, but leave it to say that this is a very big moment for PSSI and its evolving relationship with Charles. And we couldn't be more pleased than to share this moment with you. And please enjoy the rest of your meal, and we'll be back to you a little later. Thank you.